Hey everyone, it's Ashley. Welcome back to my channel. This video is my most recent couple of hauls from Sassy Girl Aroma. It's been a minute since I've had a Sassy Girl haul, but I have a couple of outstanding orders in addition to these two here. So let's get started. These two hauls, one of them came the day that I left for vacation on October 11th, a month ago, and the other one was the end of September's pre-order that Julie held for me. So I got a little bit later, maybe not so much late, because I know that she was shipping a little bit delayed. But I don't know the dates of these pre-orders, so I do apologize for that. But let's get started. I really have to if you're watching, Julie, I just have to thank you for the time, the artistry, the creativity that you put into the colors. The palette that you use for a lot of these are just beautiful, and it really makes you think about the name and the notes, and it just, that little attention to detail is wonderful, and why so many of us love your wax. If you watch, I don't know if you watch videos, but I just have to thank you. You blew a lot of these out of the park, and I know a lot of us can agree on that, and that's what keeps us coming back for more. So let's get started. The first one, Snow White Pumpkins. And I don't want to take all of these brittles out of the bags and show you the colors, just because sometimes the crumbs, they fall, and I don't feel like cleaning up wax tonight. So sorry guys, but you can tell from a lot of these here. But Snow White Pumpkins. This is a dupe for Bath and Body Works White Pumpkin, which White Pumpkin is, I prefer it over regular pumpkin, you know, creamy pumpkin, pumpkin pie, pumpkin spice. This is, you know, like the Spice Girls, this is spicy spice. And it is, but it's a good, because it's got the creaminess of the pumpkin. And it has that nutmeg, that cinnamon, that aromatic sense that makes you think like it's welcoming, it's inviting, it's comforting. It's an attractive scent. And I have several of these candles. I could use it all year round. You could burn or melt this when company's coming over or for an open house. It's something that is, I think it's good. It's fantastic. And this is why I grabbed one, because even though I do have a couple of the candles, sometimes they don't perform as well as wax does for me. So I always like to have this in my arsenal, and I'm glad it's now available in wax. So there's that one. Next is Halloween Night. Now, I love the color palette that Julie chose on this, because you have the orange from the pumpkins, you have the smoky gray, the kind of like the fog. You know, I'm thinking about Sleepy Hollow, you know, Ichabod Crane, and I can't remember the character, the other, can't remember, but I'm thinking of the Johnny Depp movie Sleepy Hollow. You know, the spookiness, the darkness, the dampness. The color palette here is just perfect. These notes are leaves, bonfire bliss, and toasted marshmallow. And let me tell you, this works perfectly. It really makes you think of that spooky night. And you get the leaves, but you have the smokiness from the bonfire bliss, and you have a little bit of the creaminess from the marshmallow. But this is a great fall blend. It doesn't just have to be Halloween time, you know, just because of the name, of course. But if you like leaves, you would love this. You have to like leaves, because leaves is pretty heavy in this one. Next is Harvest Scone. I love this. This is a dupe for Yankees pumpkin, I think it's pumpkin banana scone, which I have a candle in my candle closet. I bought this year. I gave Yankee another try after being pissed off at them for a while. This one is a dupe for that, so I had to grab it. These notes are creamy pumpkin and sweet ripe bananas, baked to perfection and finished with a drizzle of vanilla glaze and a dash of cinnamon. This is fantastic. If you like heavy bakery, if you like banana, that fresh, if you've ever made banana bread and you have to mash up your ripe bananas and you get that banana soupy gloopy moisture that you're putting into your bread, this is that. and you get a little bit of the heaviness from the pumpkin, the density from the pumpkin, that little bit of spice, but it does round out with a touch of sweet cinnamon, a touch of vanilla. It's like you're baking something, and it's the batter before you put it into the oven. It has that freshness to it. This, I cannot wait to melt this. This is an all year one too. I should have bought multiples of this because this is so good. I know it's going to perform well because it's strong. It is just, it's creamy banana goodness. I love that one. If you like bakery, you'd like that one. Next is one of Julie's most famous and best blends, in my opinion, and a lot of us, IHOP. IHOP is fantastic. It's pumpkin pecan waffles, maple syrup, brown sugar, caramel, and coffee. It's everything good about going out to breakfast, and it's just a classic. This, oh, you get the maple, you get the pecan, you get the coffee, you get the syrup, and you get the you do get caramel. You get a little bit of spice, not much spice, but this is, if you like all of these notes, and you especially like coffee, you have to try this if you haven't. It's fantastic. It's actually I think it's in the pre-order right now that opened up today. I think it's there. Next is carving pumpkins. This is a dupe for pumpkin carving from Bath & Body Works. That is creamy pumpkin with a little bit of spice. It's just basically fresh pumpkin. And this is pumpkin, spice, and woody notes. I love this. I love the color palette on this too. You have the creamy green, and you have the red, the orange is like a burnt orange red. You have the creaminess of the white. This is beautiful. This is fall to the max. I love this color palette. And this smells like creamy pumpkin, fresh pumpkin with not quite pumpkin pie spice, because there isn't so much clove and nutmeg in it as there is a little bit of cinnamon. There might be a little bit of allspice, which is a little bit heavier in my opinion than just straight clove and straight nutmeg, but this, it's a nice pumpkin scent. And I got this just because I did buy a candle this year. I haven't bought carving pumpkins or pumpkin carving. I bought it, if you watched my video from earlier this year, I bought it just because of the jar. It was beautiful. It was iridescent and had pumpkins all over it, and it had a beautiful lid, the spider web on top. I bought it just because of that. And I got this because, you know, you can't go wrong with the scent. It's a great scent. And the final one from this this order is Drunken Pumpkin. And this is a little bit different. This is fresh pumpkin and coconut infused with rich cassia, I think that's how you say that, and clove on a base of dark bourbon, maple, and toasted oak. This is a complex scent, and with good reason, because bourbon and oak and all of those woody notes combined with something creamy like pumpkin and fresh is coconut or tropical is coconut, it gets a little complex. And on first sniff, I'm on the fence with this one, not because I think it stinks. It's different. And, you know, if you watch my channel, you know I love different. I love exotic. I love earthy. I love woody. I love all of those different scents. I mean, I will melt just about anything out there. And this one, I think what I'm smelling is I'm smelling the clove. Clove is very, very heavy. The clove mixed with the bourbon and a little bit of that oak. This kind of reminds me of Jack Daniel's, but not alcohol. You know, it just, if you take the alcohol out, you have the rest of those notes. So this is a heavy scent. It is a different scent. This is very unique, very unique. Okay, on to the next pre-order, because I don't remember. I got some of these bricks, and I don't remember. Where did the other ones go? There they are. I don't remember if it belonged to this little one or this bigger pre-order, but we're just going to go for it. Okay, pumpkin firewood. This is a super unique pumpkin fragrance with crushed clove, cinnamon, and sweet pumpkin. This is a fantastic fantastic blend. I've had this in other vendors, and it's such a good one. It's hard to describe, though. It really is hard to describe because it is unique in that it's not a bakery. It's not outright spice. It's woodsy pumpkin. And excuse me. Ooh, it's a time of year where you're dried out. It's winter here in Utah, by the way. The high was, I think, 31 today. It's winter time here, so I'm a little a little dry from the furnace. Excuse me, but this is a woodsy pumpkin, and I like it because it's a standalone. It is very versatile. It's very unique. You kind of have to smell it. It's kind of like, it's like Coca-Cola. You have to taste it in order to really know what it tastes like. You can't really describe it to somebody. That's my opinion. Next is Rustic Woods. I love this. I love this. This is fantastic. This is warm and cozy and sure to please the senses with soft florals and earthy amber, cedar, and oak moss. I love amber, cedar, and oak moss, which is why I gravitated towards this one. I love that earthiness. It just makes me think about, oh, it's so, you have to like oak moss, cedar, and amber. I love amber. Amber is such a rich and earthy and creamy scent. It goes well with so many things, in my opinion. And I have to watch and see when this is offered in a larger size, because I would buy this. This is fantastic. I can't really describe this one either, other than you have to like different and you have to like earthy scents. This isn't earthy like incense or patchouli or sandalwood. It's different. Some of these are hard to describe this time, guys. Next is Palo Santo, and this is not the Bath & Body Works dupe. This is sweet amber, earthy patchouli, spicy clove, lily of the valley, citrus, and rich woods with musk. That's this Palo Santo. And this, it's vaguely familiar in that it kind of smells like the Bath & Body Works dupe, but it's not. It has that creaminess to it that the Bath & Body Works version does have to my nose. This is my opinion about this one. And you get more, this reminds me more of if you actually light Palo Santo, like the actual wood. This reminds me more of that. The yoga class that I go to with my husband, it's a meditative session of it. She burns Palo Santo before we start. And it's strong, but it's so unique. And this, to my nose, reminds me of it. It's got that smokiness to it. It does have it. And it does have a little bit of patchouli, but it's not incense to my nose. And it's not something that's off-putting. It's a great one. And my last little brick is Decadent Woods and Oriental Notes awaken the ambiance with an intoxicating drizzle of golden amber. I told you, I like different scents, guys, but this, oh, this is so good. This is, I would buy this in a loaf too. It'll probably never be offered in a loaf because these are scents that aren't bakery and they aren't fruity and they aren't what most of us gravitate to. But, oh, that's good. I wonder if this is a single oil or if this is a blend. I'm not sure. But it is amber and oriental spices. It's really hard to describe some of these earthy ones in a way that is relatable, but I'm trying my best. Man, that's hard to describe. Sorry. Let's get into some stuff that I can describe to you. I know that one's going to be strong just because it reminds me of one of the resort ones that I finished it up and I don't remember what it's called. It's in my empties, but it's one that's from one of the newer resorts in Vegas, and it's got that amber-esque scent to it, and it's fantastic. I loved it. It lasted all day long. It was so good. Okay, on to more easier ones. Sweet Dreams Amaya or Amaya. I'm not sure how to say that one. This is sweet lavender, and minty spearmint. And this scent, I have tried to get this scent before, but it's always sold out by the time I would try to get it. So when I saw this in a mini muffin, I thought, I have to grab this. And this is, it's the perfect nighttime blend because it's the perfect marriage between spearmint and lavender. On first sniff, I get spearmint heavy, but then right in the background, I get that sweet lavender. This is a great bedtime scent. It's named very appropriately, Sweet Dreams, and it's a great one. I'm going to chop that up and get that ready to go. I have another resort one in here, West and East. And I have this in a muffin, and I have this in a brittle, and I have another brittle coming of this. I didn't realize I ordered it three different times, but it is a very good scent. It's freshly brewed white tea, Mediterranean cedar, and Tahitian vanilla beans. And these resort scents are done by top-notch perfume. I'm not quite sure of the term. I'm not going to try to butcher it, but they're done by high-end fragrance companies and labs and such. So they have to withstand the odors of hotels and people coming in and out and all that stuff. So these resort scents are very rich. They're very heavy. They're very complex because you think about it, you're piping it into vents and into large spaces, and they have to be appealing to the crowds. And these, so when you get them in wax form like this, it's kind of, they're concentrated and they're strong, in my opinion. I've melted a few of these, not this one here, but I've melted a few of the ones I've purchased in the past that I've talked about. And for example, Spiced Bay from Mandalay Bay is so strong. It's fantastic. It's authentic, and it takes me right back like I'm standing in the lobby. So this one here, this white tea in this one, it kind of reminds me vaguely of white tea and citrus from Bath and Body Works, that tea note. And it's not, you have to know what white tea smells like. It's a different leaf than, you know, of course, the black teas, your green teas, etc. It's more of a, it's sharper, if that makes sense. It's a sharper scent, but mixed with the cedar, it's very, it's different and it's good. And I know this one is a popular scent. I mean, this is the Westin Resorts scent that they have in all of their locations, I believe. And this is it's attractive. It really is attractive. Next, Christmas Shop. Now, Christmas Shop is fresh cut trees, decorative garland, and winter fruits. This is basically a potpourri, not potpourri in that it is your grandma's potpourri. It's not like that, but you have the winter fruits, which are your citruses, your pomegranates, the rich, heavy, dense fruits that I'm thinking of that I associate with wintertime, mixed with pine and Christmas trees. And this is a nice scent. This is nice to melt when you don't necessarily want straight pine, but you want a little bit of richness, a little bit of depth that is in addition to your pine. That's how the best I can describe that one. Next is Sugared Pear. Pull up a seat for this one because there's a lot of notes in this guy. I'm just stretching out here. Okay. This is bergamot, pistachio, pear, plum blossom, almond, cookie bakery, caramel, praline, hazelnut, brown sugar, vanilla, chocolate, and musk. Oh boy. This one, to me, and there's a lot going on in this puppy. We all can agree on that. I honestly smell pistachio. And I know I love pistachio, but I'm not just smelling it because I love it and I want to smell it. It really smells like not cherry pistachio. It's the creamy almond, pistachio nut. If you really smell a bag of pistachios, that aroma that you get, that little bit of saltiness, but you have that unmistakable different nut scent, that's what this is like to me. I'm also getting hazelnut. Hazelnut smells good too. It has that creaminess to it. It's not, I'm not getting chocolate, and I'm not really getting plum, and I'm not really getting pear. I'm getting more of the nuts, the pistachio, the almond, definitely the almond, the praline, which is pecans and sugar and cream, and hazelnut. This is a fantastic. I think this is a dupe, but I don't remember what it's for, this one here. This is a really good one. I'm excited to melt this and see what it performs like on warm, because I think it's going to be just a creamy masterpiece. That's my best description for that one. Next is Fall Yoga Pants by the Fire. I have several brittles of this. I didn't mean to buy this one. I thought I took it out of my cart because I have 3 already here. But this is a fantastic blend. This is Cider Lane, Pumpkin Pecan Waffles, and Marshmallow Fireside. I had this melting earlier this week, another brittle of mine, and it's pretty much Cider Lane with a little bit of creaminess to it, in my opinion. I don't get a lot of the Pumpkin Pecan Waffle. It's Cider Lane heavy, but that's okay because I love Cider Lane. It's very, very good. I love it. I mean, you get a little bit of bakery and you get a little bit of the cakiness from the waffle, but it's not sweet like Pumpkin Pecan Waffles is. That Cider Lane tones it down a little bit and it takes on more of the caramel aspect of it. Then the Marshmallow Fireside is there just for a little touch of smokiness. Next is Boys on the Side. This is a new blend to me. I've seen it offered so many times and I never grabbed it, but I think this is one where Julie had her Labor Day sale or moving sale. I can't remember, but I grabbed this during that part. This is greens, mint, apple, peach, musk, moss, blackberry, and cotton candy. This is a hard one to describe too because it's got so many of those complex notes going on. And not that these notes are complex, but mixed together makes it complex, in my opinion. The first thing that I smell right off the bat is mint. I'm getting mint. And I'm getting mint and a little bit of the greenery and the moss, which I'm not complaining about because I love those notes. I'm not really getting apple and peach. I'm getting a little bit of cotton candy, just the sweetness aspect of it, but I'm not really getting much fruit. But maybe when it's warmed up, I dropped it. Maybe when it's warmed up, those will come alive. If you've melted this one before, let me know what your thoughts are on this, because this is a very different one that is really out of my wheelhouse. I just bought it because I've seen it offered so many times. I figure it must be popular. So I gave it a try. Next is Spooky Hayride. Spooky Hayride. I think this one's a dupe too, but I can't remember. This is warm, spicy notes of nutmeg and black pepper with woody notes and just a hint of orange and fir. This is a great one too. This does give you that fall time feel. It smells like hay a little bit, which I love hay. I love hay. It smells so good. It does have, it's not grassy. It's a little bit woody with a little bit of spice. A hint of black pepper. It's very exotic. It's not as exotic as I would say Rustic Woods exotic in the Oriental Spices, but, or excuse me, not Rustic Woods, Haunted Woods in the Oriental Spice aspect, but it has, it gives you that spooky, damp weather, different feel to it. I try to get different blends this time. I've only had a couple of these, like I said, that are repurchases. IHOP, West and East, Fall Yoga Pants, and a couple of these dupes I've had before in the candle. But I try to get all different blends this time. Break out of the bakery wheelhouse a little bit. Next is Pumpkin Maze. This is a dupe for the Patchouli and Pumpkin, or Pumpkin and Patchouli Bath and Body Works candle. This is pumpkin, spice, and patchouli with a woodsy base. This is authentic to the candle, in my opinion. It's got the patchouli to it, but it has enough of the pumpkin in it that creams it up a little bit, that tones that patchouli down, and you have a little bit of woodsiness to it. I do agree with that. You have a little bit of cinnamon, a little bit of nutmeg. I think it's nutmeg in here. This is a great one if you like patchouli and you aren't quite sure you want to get on the complete earth wagon in terms of buying different earthy scents. You might want to start here because it does give you a little bit of pumpkin. So it's a very unique fall blend, in my opinion. But it's fantastic. The candle, it's a real dupe to the candle. Next is Sled Ride. This is a dupe for Yankee After Sledding, the candle. I think it's from the 90s or early 2000s, the candle. This is cinnamon, sweet maple, toffee, salted caramel, fresh nutmeg, maple syrup, and vanilla. Sweetness overload. This is basically... It kind of, this is funny, but it kind of, on first sniff, kind of smells like kettle corn or caramel corn to me. It really does have that corny, popcorny aspect to it. But upon further sniffing, it's an amped up version of pumpkin pecan waffles without the waffle. It's just basically the syrup, the pecan and the syrup and the caramel and that sweet stickiness that's in that. But I get a caramel corn, a kettle corn, because I mean it has toffee, it has caramel, it has maple, it has all the same notes. This is going to be a really good one. It is treats after sledding. You know, it's sweetness. It's sticky goodness. That's a fantastic one. And finally, this is a blend that I don't want to say harassing because I don't harass anybody, but I have been asking Julie many times to, can you please dupe this? Do you have a dupe for this? And I know there is not a dupe oil out there in the wax world, but she finally, and she sent a lot of our requests off to be duped in her lab. But this one is one I've been waiting for a long time. This is Best Christmas. This is a dupe for Perfect Christmas from Bath and Body Works. And let me tell you this, the notes are fresh pine needles, sweet cinnamon sugar, and toasted marshmallow. Let me tell you, this is it. This is the candle. This is duped perfectly, in my opinion. But just opening up this bag and smelling that familiar fragrance, it's my favorite Christmas candle. I mean, I have a lot of favorites out there in the world, and I say that tongue in cheek, really, because, you know, what is favorite really? Favorite's subjective. But Best Christmas is an authentic dupe for Perfect Christmas from Bath and Body Works, and I'm so happy. I have it coming in a loaf. The loaf was offered this past, not this one, but the past pre-order. And I have it in a loaf coming because it's a scent I could melt all year round. It doesn't scream Christmas, but my brain thinks of Christmas when I smell it just because it is out of the holiday time. But you could melt this all year round. It's not tree. It has cinnamon sugar and it has marshmallow to it. And you have a little bit of pine, but it's sweetened up enough with the cinnamon sugar and the marshmallow. I've been letting these cure. I'm going to get them going because it's my favorite and I love it. And I will always have it in my collection. And I know it's been very popular too. And when I saw it in a loaf, I thought, great, it's selling well. She's going to offer it in a loaf. I was so happy that I saw it. This is, if you like the candle, you have to try this if you haven't already. I got 2 of these. And my samples. First sample is Celebrate. This one, I'm pretty sure there's cotton candy in this, but I didn't look up the notes for these guys ahead of time. I'm sorry, but I think there's cotton candy in that. I'm bad with blind smelling and telling you what's in it unless it's completely obvious. But I think there's cotton candy in that. But knowing Julie, it's not. It's pretty complex. Next is Sweet Cinnamon Apples. This one is nice. I wonder if it's a dupe for something, because it smells like one of the Walmart waxes, one of the Sensationals. It's just cinnamon and apples, you know, that unmistakable potpourri scent. And then finally, Persimmon Salsa. Persimmon is a different fruit. Boy, that's different. It's hard to describe this one. I'd have to see all the notes, and like I said, there's probably a ton in here. But that's a nice, different scent. So I tried my best to describe these to you guys on cold, and I hope that I did them justice. So hope everyone has a great weekend and a happy November, happy Veterans Day to everyone out there. And I'll